is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Breaking news just into our newsroom. Fargo police need your help identifying the pedestrian who was hit in a crash that closed a major road for hours last night. Police say just before 7 last night, they were called to 25th Street South and 13th Avenue for a report of a serious crash. They say 18-year-old Nathaniel Solomon was driving toward a green light when he hit a man who was crossing the street, but they haven't been able to identify who that man is. Police are now asking for your help, and they want to see if anyone recognizes this tattoo. Police say the man is 30 to 45 years old. He's white or Native American with gray hair and is about 200 to 240 pounds. If you recognize the tattoo or believe you know who this might be, you're asked to contact the North Dakota Highway Patrol at the number on your screen. New for you now at 4, West Fargo school officials are trying to calm families' concerns over the string of threats aimed at several schools within the district. The district sent a note out to parents today citing research from the National Center for Education saying trends for violent crime in schools have been declining for 4 decades. This comes after several threats were made at schools here locally, including 2 at Cheney Middle School. The district adds they've invested millions of dollars on systems and resources to help make a safer campus, like radios for staff members to communicate, a lobby guard, and panic buttons placed throughout the schools. For the district's full statement, head to this story on valleynewslive.com. Police need your help finding the person in these pictures. Moorhead police say this person robbed the KFC along 8th Street and Main Avenue around 5:30 last Wednesday morning. Officials say the suspect forced their way in from a window and took cash. If you have any information, call police at the number on your screen, 218-299-5120. Hutch joins us now with a first look at your forecast. Hutch?
Stacy, thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. We are keeping our eyes on a significant storm system that is beginning to develop and make its way over the Rocky Mountains. So as it makes its way towards us, we're seeing an increase in clouds from the south. That's keeping us mild in that wind today. Well, more of a southeasterly direction, keeping us mild as well. We don't have much in the way of precipitation to worry about today. And here is a glance of the storm system working its way through the southern Rockies now. And it is bringing areas of rain and snow to the elevated terrain of the Rocky Mountains. And it's this system that plans to bring just a little bit of everything. Take a look at this. First alert weather days continue for Wednesday and Thursday. We've been talking about this since last week to give you that first alert so you can plan. And things are looking pretty dicey for your Wednesday night. In fact, some in the region will have some thunder, possibly some thunder snow, possibly some severe storms in Minnesota, the southern part, and even tornadoes. Will be likely to see a few in southern Minnesota for the middle of December. And in fact, that's pretty rare. Here's a slight risk of severe weather. Sioux Falls into the Twin Cities, and I think we could see some thunder in that snow very close to our area. You may hear those rumbles in Otter Tail County. Here's how things get started. Thunderstorms mainly in southern Minnesota. For us, a mixed wintry concoction to start things off, and it all gets going around drive time. I'll have hour-by-hour details on this. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but right now, tonight, things are looking very quiet and extremely mild. But our weather Wednesday into Thursday gets extremely wild. Details in a moment.
All right. Thanks so much, Hutch. The Fargo Police Department and federal authorities are searching for 21-year-old Christopher Morrison, a wanted sex offender who they say walked away from Center Inc., a halfway house, last night. Morrison is on federal probation with active warrants out of Morton County. The sex offender registry shows that Morrison is convicted of sexual abuse of a minor involving a 14-year-old. He's described as a Native American man, 5'11", around 210 pounds. If you have any information on where he could be, you're urged to call 911. New for you now at 4, we're learning more information about the crash that led to a DUI charge for the Mapleton fire chief. Kayla Cross is charged with misdemeanor DUI refusal after a crash in West Fargo last month that left the other driver seriously hurt. Court documents say it happened when she was crossing Cheyenne Street onto the I-94 entrance ramp. A man in another vehicle had a cut on his forehead and was bleeding profusely when officers arrived on the scene. He was taken by ambulance. Police say Cross admitted to drinking before the crash. However, she refused to take a breathalyzer. She was cited and released to a sober friend. She has pleaded not guilty. 4 days after deadly tornadoes tore through the Midwest, more than 100 people remain missing. 88 people in 5 states are confirmed to have died, but that number is expected to grow. Laura Podesta is on the ground in Kentucky with the latest.
I'm trying to coordinate the recovery system right now. We have quite a few people missing.
In the small town of Dawson Springs, Kentucky, the devastation is large scale. Dozens of people are still missing, and officials estimate more than 60% of the town is beyond repair.
This is the first time I came out here looking at the damage. It's hard to believe this is my town.
It's one of several communities stretched across hundreds of miles ravaged by a cluster of tornadoes Friday night. More than 550 National Guard members are on the ground in hard-hit Kentucky, many still working rescue and recovery.
I still expect that we will find at least some more bodies. There is just so much destruction.
State and local officials say it could take years for some areas to fully recover. That includes Mayfield, facing some of the worst damage. Mayfield High School is serving as a shelter and a donation hub. Residents can grab everything from diapers to clothing to food, and volunteers are keeping these shelves stocked.
I got all towels and face rags. Thank you so much.
Bria Schofield came here to get supplies for her 3 children.
I don't even know how to feel at this point. It's kind of just like a numb feeling. The first day that we actually got out and were able to try to go find a store that was open, I cried the entire time because I just couldn't believe what it looked like here.
9-year-old Aniston Rackley was among those killed in Missouri. She was huddling with family in a windowless bathroom when a twister tore through their home. And in Illinois, federal and state officials are investigating the Amazon warehouse collapse that killed 6 workers when a tornado hit. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Mayfield, Kentucky.
Last night, the White House approved emergency declarations for Illinois and Tennessee, states damaged by those tornadoes. The funding includes grants for temporary housing and home repairs, loans to cover uninsured property losses, and other programs to help individuals and business owners recover from the effects of the disaster. Gray Television also partnering with the Salvation Army to provide relief for those affected by the deadly tornado outbreak. You can donate directly to the Salvation Army's disaster relief efforts by texting HL Tornado to 51555. You can also donate online simply by going to valleynewslive.com. The parents of the Oxford school shooting suspect appeared in a Michigan courtroom today for a probable cause hearing. James and Jennifer Crumbly are each facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in connection to the shooting of their 15-year-old son Ethan is accused of carrying out at Oxford High School on November 30th. Officials say the couple contributed to the tragedy by providing the gun to their son and for ignoring signs that he was planning the shooting. Today marks 9 years since the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. It was December 14th, 2012, that 20 children and 6 educators were killed at the school. For the first time ever, Newtown schools are offering remote learning on this day due to the rising number of school threats, not just in Connecticut, but across the country. Hundreds of victims of Larry Nassar have reached a $380 million settlement with USA Gymnastics. That settlement is one of the largest ever awarded to victims of sexual abuse. Nassar was the main doctor for Olympic gymnastics for 18 years and is serving up to more than 300 years in prison for multiple sex crimes. There's encouraging data on a new COVID-19 pill as the U.S. marks 1 year since the first person received a vaccine against the virus. More than a third of Americans remain unvaccinated. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
I think it can be available this month.
1 year after its first COVID-19 vaccine shot was given in the U.S., drug maker Pfizer says its antiviral pill could soon be available in the fight against the virus.
Vaccines are needed. People need to prevent getting sick. They should not take chances that they may not get seriously sick because there is a pill that could treat them.
Appearing on CBS Mornings, Pfizer's CEO says the treatment is nearly 90% effective in reducing the risk of hospitalization or death in high-risk unvaccinated adults, if taken within 3 days of the first COVID symptoms. Lab results also showed the drug worked against the Omicron variant, expected to dominate U.S. cases in the coming weeks. The U.S. is now averaging 120,000 new COVID cases a day. Nationwide, more than 800,000 Americans have died due to the virus since the pandemic began.
We're really trying to encourage people to get that boost to bolster their protection so that they're ready should they encounter the Omicron variant.
As COVID-19 cases continue to surge in the U.S., the latest CBS News poll finds nearly 1/3 of Americans who are vaccinated have no plans to get a booster shot, in spite of evidence that regular vaccinations are not enough to protect against the Omicron variant.
More than 200 million Americans are now fully vaccinated, and more than 3/4 of the eligible population has received at least 1 dose. Bogus bills are circulating in the Northern Valley. The Rolette County Sheriff's Office is warning businesses in the area to watch out for counterfeit money. Deputies are investigating reports of a woman in St. John, North Dakota, passing fake money. They seized more than $4,600 from the suspect in $10, $20, $50, and $100 bills. It's hard to miss the trick on either the front or back of the bills. Both sides have the word copy printed right on them. West Fargo police are saying thank you today after they received an anonymous $15,000 donation to support their canine division. The department says the money will go toward buying another canine to replace a current one who's ready to retire. The department has 3 canines and handlers within their division. The North Dakota Department of Transportation has selected the winners for the state's first Name a Plow contest. The winning names are right there on your screen. For the Fargo District, Below Zero Hero won, and for Grand Forks, Storm and Norman. The names will now be displayed on those plows. A total of 856 names were submitted from across the state. Winners will have the opportunity to meet with the operator of the plow that they named. A new study is showing just how effective COVID vaccines are. We'll tell you what you need to know, still to come on Valley News Live at 4.
We've enjoyed way above average temperatures the last few days, and now big changes are in the offing. They begin tomorrow night. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect, including how much snow this system brings. There'll be rain, there'll be thunder, even possible tornadoes. We'll tell you all about it right after this.